Is that Deacon?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, give me a second.
Yeah.
I believe we got a show going because you called.
Great.
Thank you. We're going to hear about a little phone call Johnny Reeferseed made to our nemesis, Claude Baudler, discussion about his little trip to California.
This was earlier this morning.
All right, so
All right.
give me a second. Let me get
Okay.
this set up here, Jeffy.
All right. James Grimm, Grimm. I'm from Des Moines. I'm from Des Moines, Iowa. And I was wondering, are you a lawmaker or a lawbreaker? Well, you went to California and broke the law.
There you go. I see that. I went to California.
All right, starting back over. Johnny Reeferseed
James
versus
Grimm,
Claire Baudler.
Grimm.
Johnny Reeferseed versus Claire Baudler. Here we go. Green Central Station Show 22, starting a little late, but we're live. Deacon on the line.
I'm from Des Moines. I'm from Des Moines, Iowa. And I was wondering, are you a lawmaker or a lawbreaker? Well, you went to California and broke the law.
I went to California and broke the law.
Yeah. I'm lying to get a prescription is against the law. Giving false information to get a prescription? Yes, it is. I'm surprised you didn't know that.
No, I didn't know that.
Oh, well, maybe you should ask somebody, ask a lawyer or something. Because I would figure a lawmaker would know that, but.
James Graham, I guess this is in relationship to medical marijuana.
Yeah, well, I just don't. I just have a problem with people who are supposed to be. Yeah, well, I just don't. I just have a problem with people who are supposed to be making our laws think it's okay to go out and break laws. That's my point. It has nothing to do with marijuana.
No, it has something to do with marijuana. Why don't you tell me your real point?
My real point is, why are you going out breaking the law when you're a lawmaker?
Why do you want medical marijuana in Iowa?
I think marijuana should be legalized all over, but that has nothing to do with this. What I'm asking you about is breaking the law.
One eye with an
And what?
One eye with an medical marijuana. You hang up?
Yeah.
All right, say hello, guys. I'm bringing you on the screen here while I set up this next video here.
Hello, everybody.
Say hello, Deacon.
Hey guys, calling in from home again.
All right, Lord Moda.
Yeah, how you doing, everybody?
All right.
Just to go over what we just heard, that was our good friend Jamie Grimm,
Also
Johnny
known as Johnny
Reeferseed.
Reeferseed. He made
Yep.
a call to Claude Baudler this morning.
That was this morning. That was Baudler, the biggest pot Nazi in the State House, without a doubt. I mean, the guy does everything he can to stop any kind of marijuana reform.
Right.
And that was him putting him on the spot, saying that he broke the law, and we're going to go over that a lot.
Right.
Because this man broke the law, and it was premeditated. He planned this out for a while. As he was sitting in the State House, I think that calls for some drastic
Some type
measures. I
of
don't think-
review or something.
He shouldn't be in office if he's going to be doing that.
He thinks he's on M Squad or
Yeah.
something.
All right, now here we're going to play this other video clip here real quick, and Claude Baudler even has a statement for us.
Yeah.
There's some information right there about the meeting on Wednesday. Iowa State Capitol, 9:15.
Young broke his back in a diving accident. They're just two of more than a dozen who shared their medical marijuana success stories at the Iowa Pharmacy Board on Wednesday. Both Lakers and Young say marijuana works better.
Iowa State Capitol, Wednesday.
Drugs.
What date is that, Mike? 26 or so?
It's the 27th, 26th.
9:15.
Wednesday, 26th, 9:15 in the morning.
Some subcommittee hearing or whatnot.
Lakers has multiple sclerosis and has used marijuana in the past and paid the price.
I was actually arrested for less than a gram of marijuana back in 2005 and went to jail and did 6 days in county to get off probation over it.
Yes, I received those emails, and I can. Say
Yes,
that
I received those emails.
Yes, I'm an android.
And
Here
a
we go.
liar.
Yes, I received those emails.
Yes, I received
and
those
I can
emails.
say that I believe there's scientifically tested drugs out there that will work.
I believe. Are you a
morphine,
doctor?
OxyContin, things like that. Things like that. That will work, i.e. morphine, OxyContin, things like that.
Things like that.
The Mexican cartel will
You might need to-
Mexican
undersell
cartel.
state
I
government.
don't know what Mexican cartel.
Really?
There's George McMahon.
The illegal drug trade is funding the elected.
This video,
drug
Mike.
cartels.
George McMahon.
It's what George McMahon of Livermore has been doing for the past 20 years with the blessing of the federal government. The FDA sends McMahon a steady supply of prescription marijuana to treat a chronic pain and nausea condition.
Federal government. Yeah, I don't get to go buy my own.
Federally grown.
McMahon is in his car parked outside the Iowa Board of Pharmacy office. Inside the building, the board votes unanimously to hold a series of public hearings where average
There's Deacon,
Iowans and
Jimmy
experts
Morrison,
alike
Dr. Echo.
weigh in
There I
on
am,
whether the
some
state
reporter.
should add marijuana as an approved controlled
Hi, I'm Angela, and I am a medical marijuana patient. This is a reefer report for February 24, 2010.
It's just like a
The Iowa
compilation
Board of
video.
Pharmacy voted to recommend
the last year.
reclassification of marijuana to a Schedule II drug as the first step to legalize the medicine in the state. Here's WHO-TV with more. Oh, and keep an eye out for Reverend Ray, one of your fellow Reefer Report viewers. Thanks, Ray, for getting out there and informing our government and the public.
A unanimous decision from the Board of Pharmacy today on the future of medical marijuana in Iowa. The Iowa Board of Pharmacy took the first step today toward legalizing marijuana for medical purposes. The board voted unanimously to recommend that lawmakers
There's some more information about Butler.
classified in Iowa. Channel 13's Elizabeth Kling has
The only things I lied about were hemorrhoids, depression, and I stated that I did not have health insurance. How about that, Deacon?
The unanimous approval Wednesday
There it is,
brought
Mike. Hughes
round
holding up
of
the sign,
applause from
justice.
Advocates of medical marijuana.
We haven't had it yet.
And
That's right.
You look at me and think, well, this guy doesn't really look that sick or whatever. But, you know, I'm able to maintain my health because I use marijuana.
Until today, marijuana has been classified as a Schedule I drug in Iowa, considered to have no medical value. But after months of research and
There we are.
public hearings, pharmacy officials agreed it's time for a change.
In order to be able to further the possibility of using medical marijuana in Iowa, that's what we wanted to do, was get it out of that C1 class.
The board is
C1
recommending the
class.
legislature classify marijuana as a Schedule II drug, meaning there is a risk for abuse, but also the potential for benefit.
Gary Johnson.
Does it matter if some of us are banged up in prison and lose our freedom for years? Who gives a fuck? Does it matter?
Mr.
Does
White.
it matter if our kids are expelled from schools, have their careers wrecked, and their lives ruined? Does it fucking matter? Does it fucking matter if those suffering from multiple sclerosis and other ailments are denied the therapeutic benefits of a natural drug? Does it fucking matter?
St. Michael when he's doing an interview with the news.
If somebody has the option of getting away from these dangerous prescription painkillers and has a safer, more
Those are them bald heads. Jeff, see him?
prescription drugs kill more people in the state of Iowa than illicit drugs. And
Of course, this is Iowa, where we do not smoke our medicine, nor do we vote on them.
No.
Yeah.
If somebody and death is acceptable.
Right.
So is torture.
All right, let me back this up just a hair because I want to let St. Michael get his words out to the news.
Prescription drugs kill more people in the state of Iowa than illicit drugs. And once, let me first also state that marijuana hasn't killed anybody. There's never been recorded death from the consumption of marijuana. And if somebody has the option of getting away from these dangerous prescription painkillers and has a safer, more affordable alternative, which is marijuana, well, we're talking.
Yes, I received those emails, and I can say that I believe there's scientifically tested drugs out there that will work, i.e. morphine, OxyContin, things.
Do have some implants.
This is Ringo Keeler. Good day, Governor.
All right, I hope everybody liked the opener.
Yes.
Yeah. Powerful stuff.
Very powerful opening.
And please approve medical cannabis.
And hypocrisy going on in the state of Iowa. I love how, if you look up on the the Iowa Governor's ODCP site and click on some of their things, they have that one rule under other concerns. The first statement is, as a general rule, we don't smoke our medicines, and then they add, nor do we vote on them.
Okay, now let's talk right away about this meeting that's going to go down on Wednesday at 9:15. Now it's this HSB House HSB 4.
Right.
You know, it's originated by Governor's Office of Drug Control Policy.
It was originated under Culver.
You know, but
Branstad was more than happy to take this over and push it even harder.
This bill originated by the governor's office in response to the Board of Pharmacy's bill to be difficult. They got medical marijuana nemesis Rep. Clell Bodler of the recent "I faked a medical marijuana recommendation in California to prove a stupid point" email to introduce it. He's introducing that bill.
Yeah.
So
how crazy is that?
Oh man!
By far the most biased politician on Capitol Hill in our state.
Right.
Wow. He's. And it says, it removes the mention of marijuana from Schedule 2 and everything we worked on last year and everybody that came forward, and it just breaks me that even just think that they would just try and just stifle it all with the Schedule 1 Branstad bill, this.
What amazes me is
And
how they how they can stand up and deny science.
Yeah, exactly.
How they've got the arrogance to do that.
Right, exactly. And the evidence that we bring is, it's proven.
Yeah. Well,
not only anecdotal.
Right.
There wasn't really much of a debate at the forums. That's what the forums were for.
Yeah, and he hightailed it out of there when I started talking. I'm going to play that video clip later.
He didn't want to debate the facts of the forums. I think they were surprised that people had showed up at the forums.
And the Board of Pharmacy was extremely upset with them.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They commented, several times that, hey, if there were people against this, then why didn't you come up and say your side? Because they didn't.
Yeah, and they showed up with red sweaters and buttons, and they're like, wanted to, be players.
They wanted to sidestep the whole process that was set up.
All right, we got some people. Hey, we got a crowd out here.
All right.
You see it? This cat standing behind Lord Moda.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Here's another little thing.
All right, another little thing.
From the Governor's Office of Drug Control, they created an innovative Iowa Drug Fighters Award.
Who got that, Baldwin?
Innovative.
Hey, Jeff.
Innovative in what way?
Deacon.
Yeah.
Hey, this takes us. It's right on top of this meeting and this bill or whatever. It's right on top of it. That your response you got from Del Woolery and the conversation that you've had with him via email.
Right.
Well, tell us about that.
Oh man, this guy insulted me to the max. I sent him a letter explaining I have diabetic neuropathic gastroparesis, which results in chronic nausea, vomiting, and there is no medication in today's pharmacopoeia that controls chronic nausea and vomiting. Both my family doctor and my diabetic specialist tell me I should use medical marijuana, and also that I should leave Iowa to do it. So I wrote this and sent it to the governor's office, to Gary Kendall, and he had Woolery respond.
Yeah.
So anyway, in Woolery's letter, he says, "We support a compassionate response to your illness, but believe the safety and health concerns of all Iowans deserve similar considerations." Now, this is lifted directly off of the Governor's ODCP website. Okay? If you go to that and click on marijuana in Iowa.
It's Office of Drug Control Policy.
Right. And if you go to that website and click on there, you'll find everything in his letter on their website.
It's their talking points, and that's all they know.
Exactly. And he refuses to answer my question, which was, why? Why, with all the knowledge that we have, why is medical marijuana at least illegal?
And all the people that came forward at the hearings,
and
the doctors and the proven science.
And
it's the unanimous decision.
And also, I thought that this whole country and the state was founded on all for one and one for all. If we even rescue one sailor who's been stranded, look how the nation will come together, or a little girl in the well. Your condition should have been met as a public forum with a point of compassion to show we do care about the individual. So that's an excuse.
And there are people out there, buddy, who are suffering a hell of a lot worse than I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're talking slow torture.
They can't even take the effort it takes to call you up on the phone.
There's some people
And they don't have access either.
and they're at the point to end of life care.
Yes.
And they don't want to even be as compassionate for those people in that situation, and it's appalling, really.
It is appalling. It's disgusting also.
The Office of Drug Control Policy has no problem, and it doesn't matter who comes in to run it, because they have this set agenda just set up for that office, and they have no problem with government being so big that it steps between a doctor and their patient, and that's what they're saying. That's what this bill is. That's what's going on Wednesday. They want to have a bill. They want to keep the laws to where the government steps in between a doctor and a patient for what a doctor feels best for his patient. And they want to step in with prosecutors and people with no medical experience say, no, we're going to get in the middle of here. We don't care if you're the doctor or if you're the patient. We're the government and we're telling you no. And that's exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah, and then they care about safety. Well, that already shows you're very unsafe. You're being watched for your body, which should involve privacy and communication.
They talk about safety. We've already had a pilot program for the last 20 years in the state of Iowa.
And there's 2 Iowans left in the government program.
And that's been our pilot program in the state.
George,
and it's
right
worked.
on that video.
We've had a
Smoking his
working
government
program
joint.
in our state for 20 years, and there hasn't been no ill effects from it. Nobody in their communities have suffered in any way, shape, or form. So that shows it can work. It has
And there
worked.
is medical marijuana in Iowa, and it's provided by
There
the
is.
federal
That's
government.
right. And the state condones it. They haven't done anything to try to stop it or shut it down.
Right,
So
right.
obviously they've condoned it for the last 20 years.
Right, and those individuals are what? Individuals, they're not even a majority of folks, but their condition means the people take notice, because that one Iowan is all Iowans.
Yeah. Yeah. You can't have any law that is for just a few or one chosen. It has to be, any law has to be for everyone or no one.
It's healthcare, man.
It's healthcare.
The government does not get involved in healthcare
Well,
and doctors and patients.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Yeah,
It's-
don't
it's
step
not
between
right.
them. If you don't want this, I hear people love using the word socialism. That's what Branstad, speaking of healthcare, is actually trying to, because the Attorney General in the state of Iowa, Tom Miller, Branstad wants to step in and try to challenge the government on the national healthcare program, the Affordable Care Act.
I love that.
And he wants to step in and get involved and cause a big fuss and spend money and waste time instead of doing real governing.
He has to, because he's at his end of life and needs to go out in a big way.
Yeah. I guess that's what he wants his legacy to be.
Right?
Deny human beings from proper care.
Yeah. Now, if anybody gets a chance, I'm going to have that video up later. The Claude Butler, the Johnny Reefer Seed call today, and it's got his actual letter. I even broke it down in frames in the video. His email that he sent out about going around traveling to California. Actually, me and Mike had an excellent conclusion over him doing that.
Well,
what he's doing, Jeff.
Right.
For me and you.
Yeah.
He did this for us. He showed us how easy it would be for us.
Yep.
To go out there.
Yeah.
Man, I was like, I was excited when I discovered that, hey, he just showed me how to do it.
You know what else?
Man.
You know what else?
Thank you, Baller.
You know what else? You know what
I should
else
call him. I got his number. You got it. Hey, that card right there.
If you go to the
Got his phone
legislative site,
number.
it has contact numbers.
No,
on
I
the
got
front.
his.
Yeah, it's called Baller for
I'll tell him-
Marijuana or BM.
That's
you know?
what I'm doing. Tell him thanks. I'll tell him thanks the first time, even though I'm mad at you for the statements that you make and everything, and you're wrong.
Thanks, BM, and all your
thanks for telling me
hemorrhoids
on
and your
how to
life.
do it.
Right, and I came to that conclusion, and I thanked God for leading Clell Bodler to do this.
Hey, it led Pat Robertson to become a prophet, a ganja prophet.
Yep.
Well, Bodler hasn't made it a secret, and everybody in the State House that even has a conversation with him over this over the last year or two knows that he has been planning while at the State House,
premeditating,
conspiring to go out to California and
it
break
hurts
the
people,
law.
the
And then
statements
he
that
did
he
it
makes.
and admitted to do it and
Green
gave
Central
pretty much
Station.
a written statement that he did that. And I don't think any person should hold public office if they're going to sit around and conspire to commit crimes instead of doing their actual job.
Right, and here he's going against.
I mean, how much crime did he come across in those stores and those dispensaries? I mean, how much bad things happened when Jeff, the one guy had too many tattoos to be legal.
Yeah.
Oh,
boy, I guess
the legal number of tattoos.
So I guess he's saying he wants to introduce a bill next year to outlaw tattoos.
He had 8 to 10 piercing.
What's he saying there?
He's saying he's ignorant. He's
Yes.
saying that this is the way I think, and I think the world should think this way.
Yeah.
Right.
If you don't live the way I say you should live or think the way I think, then there should be laws against you, I guess.
Well, he committed a sting against the Green, so he's the Green Hornet. We need him to fight this.
Yeah, right.
Well, he went out there to prove a point because he was trying to.
He's just trying to say how easy it would be to do it.
Yeah, but then he proved that the only way he could do it was to break the
It
law.
was pretty easy.
And he didn't go to the legitimized places to have a control to make a comparative to show what is the current condition of who's following the law and who's breaking it. That's what a true law-abiding citizen and somebody concerned do. He went to the worst.
Did he go to the local law enforcement and say, "Hey, I'm this ex-trooper. I'm in your town. I'm going to go check out these medical marijuana stores undercover for Iowa"?
That's not on his
you know what I mean? If he would have done
on an official agenda.
No,
Yeah.
he was there on his private time.
You know, I mean, if he went there as an Iowa lawmaker, ex-trooper, and all that, he could have gotten, a little.
He conspired to do this on public time, though.
They would have helped him out. They would have gave him a ride to the dispensary. Some cops out there in California.
The fact is, he did not break the law. He really didn't. He can, for example, I can go out to California and stay at my sister's house for 2 months, and have a bill sent to that house, to that address, and just use my Iowa driver's license.
He lied about a condition, though.
Yeah, but what about
now that I can't get around. You're
No,
right.
he did. Let me be specific about this.
that's
the code that he
specific.
broke.
Go ahead,
the
the
code
code.
that he broke is California Code 11362.81.
Very
And
good.
look that up, punch that code up, and it'll be very specific. He faces up to a year in jail if found guilty. And I think if
What's
he has
that code
any
again,
honor
Mike?
whatsoever, he needs to get on the next plane to California and turn himself in to face prosecution.
Give me that code again that he broke.
It's 11362.81.
Well, yeah, because
California
you can't.
code.
I mean, you can go there, Jeff, and do all that because he showed us how easy it was. Jeff, I was hoping Clello will buy us some tickets, man.
Is that what he was trying to
wants
say?
us to fly out and live out in California.
I think I was discussing this with Lord Moda earlier.
What, getting tickets?
That Clell Bodler showed us how to do it.
Yeah.
Is that what he's saying? He wants Iowans to follow his example and go out and break the law?
And you notice he went.
No, just go out there and get medical marijuana.
And you notice,
or move out there.
Yeah, move out there.
And notice this kid said, go to the weirdest place. With their bias, they went to Venice. That's what I told Reverend Ray Green. He went to what's considered the Green Ghetto. Whenever there's bigots who do that, they go to the place for their pleasures, or they use it to prove, hey, this marginalized group should be just stuffed. But they never admit their duplicity.
Yeah.
Fact, true, yeah.
All right. So, I mean, that's the thing is you are incorrect in stating that as far as like if you were going out there with a need for marijuana and weren't going to be a permanent resident, but you could get a temporary or you could sign up for one, and you wouldn't be breaking the law. But if you go there and knowingly lie about your condition, I mean, he said. He would get it for depression, and he's not depressed, and then he'd get it for hemorrhoids,
and he doesn't have hemorrhoids,
and he doesn't even know what they are, which is
Well, that's what he claims, but I'm
yeah.
sure
And then the third one is that he doesn't have health insurance. Now the thing is, I don't have health insurance, and I want medical marijuana, so I don't have to pay for prescription medications that would drain me if I was so forced to have to take them.
But he went shady. He never tried. He went to a biased view. He never tried to go to other places with different reputations in order to see what is the shape of things in California. He never really investigated. He did one damn thing and then just tried to make a smear campaign.
And they're just rolling around in a cab there. Can't you just see him shuffling around out there, Jeff?
Oh, yeah, sure, you bet. I can see it.
He should have actually talked to the local law enforcement people.
Well, I think this shows what his psyche is. He obviously has no respect for other states' laws.
He should have really talked to the
does
local
he have any respect
jurisdiction.
for our state's laws?
You know what I'm saying, Mike? Mike, the thing he should have really did was talk to the local jurisdictions there in California and said, hey, this is who I am. If I happen to get knives because I'm going into this green ghetto.
You know what they say on the ODCP website about their strategy for 2011, their drug strategy, in regards to marijuana? All they say is that marijuana is the most widely used illegal substance behind alcohol. That's it.
Yeah.
And they just show different ways that marijuana is the most widely used illicit drug. They don't say anything else in any way, shape, or form about it. You know, I mean, they do claim all this, you know, all the negative things that they can come up with since 1963, right?
Yeah.
But
most of those which have been proven to be false.
Exactly. And they tie it in with they make a big point out of the methamphetamine and problem in Iowa being connected. In other words, that everybody.
Yeah, but everybody they catch with meth has weed.
Right.
I've heard that analogy.
Do they have
and it's
cigarettes?
like-
I'm just wondering. Do they have cigarettes? Do
Yeah,
they have
they have
Pepsi in their
cigarettes,
car?
yeah,
Do they ever drink alcohol?
You know.
Yeah, but they are at the bottom of the list.
Yeah.
They're the very, very last things to even be considered.
You know, a good point is just it's an illegal substance, so make it legal because it's not harmful.
Right.
So make it legal because we have alcohol that comes across the border from Mexico.
Right.
Corona, Dos Equis, and you don't see drug cartels getting in gun wars over Corona coming across the border, do you? It's a legal industry, and that's the same thing that would happen with the marijuana industry across the country. There wouldn't be that illegal element anymore. There wouldn't be that criminal element. You would take power and money is how you take power away from these gangs and cartels by making it legal, making it an industry. You got the government saying there can't be an industry. We want to regulate it so much to where people go to prison for it.
Yeah.
All right, now I'm going to get it up for my real quick to the show sponsors: Jaded Lotus Tattoos, Jaded Angel Ames, Iowa Patients for Medical Marijuana, Director Jimmy Morrison,
Scully Sound, our good friend Mike Gus, and Dave Ellis Bail Bonds.
All right, now, Deacon, I got you on the line. I'm going to play the video clip of your testimony from the original hearing, Iowa Board of Pharmacy, okay?
All right.
Okay, hold on.
Give him hell.
He brings it. Hold on just a minute.
Coming up next year, that will not allow people to drive under the influence of marijuana. Concerning SF-293 coming up next year, that will not allow people to drive under the influence of marijuana. It will not allow smoking in public places. And if we have a dispensary, there will be for nonprofit. One question for everybody to consider. What kind of government prohibits research into any drug that helps?
Remember that, Deacon?
I sure do. And I still haven't got an answer to that question.
And straight to the Board of Pharmacy, there is no need to reinvent the wheel. Scientific proof of the effect of cannabis is here and is available. It's not new. It's old.
I love that.
I suffer from diabetic neuropathic gastroparesis, paralyzed stomach. I also suffer from GERDs and diabetic neuropathy, all of which are greatly and safely treated with medical marijuana. The most severe disease, gastroparesis, symptoms are delayed stomach emptying, chronic nausea, vomiting, and wasting syndrome. Marinol doesn't work for me.
Marinat.
I've tried it for years. Yep. The biggest benefit that Marinol has as a citizen of the state of Iowa is that it legally allows me to have THC in my system in case I ever have to drop a UA or they take blood. Okay, and they say, you're not under influence. No, I'm not. I'm on Marinol. You know, it doesn't have the psychoactive ingredient. Even though it has THC, the psychoactive part's been removed. The most, like I said, gastroparesis is the most severe illness I have. Wasting syndrome, chronic nausea, vomiting. I've tried Marinol for years. In 2008, I lost 100 pounds over in the course of 1 year. I was able to turn that around by getting off of Marinol and onto marijuana or cannabis. Vaporized by the way, and that's what I do, is I vaporize. Vaporized marijuana is the healthiest way to get the cannabinoids into your bloodstream. It also allows the patient a better way to titrate their dose and prevents the release of harmful chemicals like benzene and the tars and carcinogens that go along with smoking. The inhalation of marijuana vapors gives me safe, effective, and immediate relief from chronic nausea and vomiting. There is no drug in today's pharmacopoeia that can claim that. Yes. The only help my doctors can offer me, since Marinol does not work, and because Sesamet is restricted, emphasis added, to cancer patients 18 years and older suffering from chemo-related nausea only, I can get Reglan/metoclopramide, which has already been mentioned here today, and which there are active lawsuits going on right now in this country because of the damage from this drug. That's the only drug my doctors can legally offer me. As my digestive specialist handed me my Reglan prescription, he said, do not take Reglan on a regular basis, for it causes irreversible Parkinson-like shakes and tremors.
Man, that ain't cool.
This is not rare. This is a common side effect. Though rarer, it does also cause neuroleptic malignant syndrome, which is fatal. Currently, there are laws for
took a bottle then.
Yeah, he doesn't care.
Some Parkinson shakes.
A man like me, who has lifelong gastroparesis, paralyzed stomach, who suffers chronic nausea as bad, if not worse, than any chemo-related nausea, I must live and suffer and live in fear of arrest, prosecution, imprisonment, forfeiture of money, property, housing, educational and healthcare governmental benefits, just to try to control the symptoms of my lifelong disease. There is no justice in this. This is not fair. Using the
that's not.
Risk factor,
Yeah.
there
It is
is
not
no
fair.
doubt that marijuana is by far safer, healthier, and more effective than any prescription drug in today's pharmacopoeia in controlling my chronic nausea, vomiting, chronic back pain, and neuropathic pain. Just compare marijuana to Reglan. To force me to go without treatment or to use Reglan is tantamount to a death sentence with torture.
That's what this new GOP bill is, a death panel.
Yeah.
The people are on a death panel.
That is a death panel. That's a good
For
plug.
real.
That's exactly what they are.
For real.
Please let me and the others have safe and legal access to the only medicine that helps, medical marijuana. As a citizen of the state of Iowa, I should not have to live with violence, corruption, and loss of personal liberty. This is a quote from the alcohol prohibition days.
All right. Good job, Deacon.
I'll tell you what, everything there is factual.
You damn right it is. Damn right it is. I figured we get that out there because that was something me and you talked about, Jeff. How we really want to present. We really want to present ourselves, as mature, responsible people.
Absolutely.
And
because we are.
I couldn't think of anybody that was any more mature and responsible than this group of guys that we have here at Green Central Station.
Agreed.
And just, you standing up there and testifying like that and being, that says a lot.
Sure breaks that stoner image that they try to smear folks with.
They love stereotypes. It's all about stereotypes.
Yep.
They can stereotype me all they want.
Hey, can you see these folks out here?
But I know.
Death panel is a
we
great
got
word.
we got a crowd here.
Hey, that's great. What's going on downtown tonight?
I don't know.
Must be Green Central Station.
Yeah,
it's Green Central Station.
Yeah. Yeah, when you see the Revs green beacon, it's Lord Modus, St. Michael, and the Deacon at Green Central Station. Bringing it live, Show 22.
Yeah. Hanging out.
Oh,
being
man,
cool.
thanks for bringing me back up, man. I was starting to get down when I started thinking about stuff.
We did get to do some nice, healthy lobbying on Tuesday as well. And
that's
there'll
how
be more coming up as well.
Yeah, so if I got at the Des Moines Register forums, I got a because they don't let you do blogs on there. They changed the.
They don't let you do blogs?
No, they don't let you do personal blogs anymore.
Wow.
They changed the website.
Those are the best ones.
No, I know. They changed the website, but they have the comments, forums, and all that. You can start
comments,
topics.
you can start on that, yeah.
But you can still comment on news stories, too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you seen it yet? The new look on the DesMoinesRegister.com.
I was on it today.
Yeah. So yeah, it's got a new look. You know.
Yeah.
A new feel.
Yep.
It's almost like, well, the government page has a new look too.
Well, but some of the stuff. Hey, did you see that? What's the guy's name? Jeff? Do you got it in front of you, or by chance the Scarpini or whatever?
Oh.
Yeah.
That task force. He's a Southside cop, 30 years on the force. He's under investigation. He's Midwest Iowa Task Force.
Really?
Midwest Iowa Drug Task Force.
So what's he in investigation?
Is it Scarpini? Is that his name?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I know.
What's the details on that?
Because I know Scartozzi's and Scarpini's.
They won't release anything yet.
Yeah, I see if you see anything on there. I don't know. I should try and pull something up.
They used to have a drug task force that was just actually based in the Des Moines
wondering if
Police
he's the one that
Department.
kept your baseball card.
That one, yeah, he could have been.
Could be.
Well, it used to be based just in the Des Moines Police Department, and they had to close that one down because they were, well, what do you know, lying to get search warrants, stealing actual drugs, stealing money, stealing property, and they got in trouble for all that. And then there was a new one. They had the Central Iowa Drug Enforcement Task Force, and the same thing happened there. And I mean, that's what, when you give this kind of power to these task forces, and it's all across the country, they don't have to show any evidence to get their search warrant. It's their word. They can tell the judge, oh, well, this guy, we have a recording of this gentleman and our informant buying drugs off him.
All right,
we're not going to show you the recording.
All right, now real quick,
We're not gonna show
I
you
got to bump
anything.
this video over, and it's going to be of that. Rest in peace, this guy, man. He got shot over a drug raid at the task force there in Utah.
This guy is sitting in his house. He
came around. All they found was a little bit of pot in a container that might have had meth in it. And then this dude deserved death sentence, man. They came in with guns blazing. So let's just play this real quick.
Yeah.
See if I can.
He had a golf club in his hand. They shot him 4 times.
Yeah. You see this, Jeff?
Yeah.
All right. I'm sad. Sorry that anybody else.
Well,
had
the
to
same
see
cop
it.
that shot him shot somebody else a couple years before.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, this
You
is from
a lot to be said about that.
courtesy of stash.normal.org. And
Police search warrant! Police search warrant! Search warrant! Search warrant! Get on the ground!
3 times.
Get on the ground!
He's dead.
I think he's on the ground already. Please.
Wow.
He's dead. They killed him.
What's going on?
What was it? Just shots and wild shooting in the dark?
Yeah. I mean, he was coming out of his bedroom. He heard the
yeah,
door
he had a
get
golf
kicked
club
in.
in his
He had a
hand.
golf club in his hand.
Thought it was just somebody breaking and entering, you know.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
And what they were told was there wasn't there. They
Yeah.
were told that
They
this
were
guy
looking
was a
for the
dealer. He wasn't.
boyfriend.
So the information that shows
Or the
that-
girlfriend. They were looking for his
The
girlfriend,
information
or-
they got was bogus information.
Yeah.
'Cause what they thought was there was not there.
And I was talking to Deacon. They didn't go through the briefing, which you have to do with official law enforcement. They met at a restaurant or something and planned this thing.
Right.
Yeah, isn't that, that's just, I mean, those people should be held accountable for murder.
Well, they should be because
Sure.
obviously, if what they thought was there wasn't there, then they didn't really have the right reason to go in that house.
And they didn't have the search warrant.
And they didn't have a search warrant with them. And on top of it, it's like, come on, man. It's like that dude didn't deserve to get killed.
No.
The reason why they bust in right when they said search warrant is they've been told in the past that they have people who will look to see if police are coming and warn people to get rid of contraband. So they just busted in so he wouldn't have a chance if he was the dealer to come in. They see him with a golf club and they shoot him dead.
I mean, did they have any reason to believe this man was a true violent person? Did he have a violent record? Has he ever shot anybody? Did he have history of gun charges?
No, not at all.
No, none of those.
Not at all.
And they still went in there with their guns ready to kill somebody.
And-
if his child walks out with a plastic bag, was they going to kill his child?
And if
I think they probably would have. If they shot so fast.
And if they had done some research like the cavemen on TV say, they would have known that the person, the culprit, had already left. No, they're meeting at Olive Garden or something, and they couldn't give a damn of trying to do it right.
Exactly.
This man was killed because he had a plant in his house.
And now listen to this. This is from a doctor. Cannabis is a complex medication with a spectrum of benefits, said Dr. Harif Khan. Safe therapeutic use requires selective strains, indica versus sativa, with moderating dosages to address each patient's medical conditions. And then he continues with that marijuana, cannabis is anti-aging, anti-inflammatory, cardio and neuroprotective properties, in particular the CBD portions, of cannabis, will help elderly people live happy, fulfilling years many to succeed the lifespan that they would normally have without cannabis.
Yeah.
That's
No, who said that?
A doctor,
Yeah,
a professional.
his name is
Make sure you get it right. Make sure you get it right. We got to make sure we get it right.
Yeah, it's a San Francisco. The article reads: San Francisco medical marijuana doctor says cannabis offers numerous benefits beyond treating symptoms, and this is for Greenway medical marijuana doctors in California.
Well, even here at the
San
forums,
Francisco.
yeah, even here at the forums we had here at the historical building, there was a cardiovascular surgeon from the Heart Center, the Iowa Heart Center at Mercy, and he was saying he gave a sworn testimony that there was he's seen a lot of benefits to his patients in many different ways for smoking marijuana, for taking marijuana as medicine.
And Dr. Kozlow, who's a vascular surgeon, right, on your veins, he's well aware of the benefits of cannabis and blood flow and opening up the veins.
If Bodler would have stayed there, maybe he would have listened to some of that.
Hopefully Dr. Alan Kozlow will be there on Wednesday. And I hope now Dr. Hurtko, Ed Hurtko's there too. Ed Hurtko will bring it. Now I've got some things happening around other states. Now Minnesota NORML, they're going to pursue marijuana reforms. Now Paul Lanny's gone.
Great.
He's gone. He's the one that went inside the most restrictive medical marijuana bill this side of New Jersey.
Right.
Yeah, this side of New Jersey, because it's the same things happening in New Jersey right now.
But they had a pretty bad bill up in Minnesota. But the thing is, a lot of things would get amended once we get through, because they'd be like, well, there's only so many people in the program. We got to expand it to all these people are asking to be in it, and they're going to be okay. Well, we need some money. So this guy from Minnesota NORML, Randy Quest.
Yeah.
So a former transportation company CEO. He built his family's company from $700,000 to $50 million annual revenues in a decade. Now he's taken up the Minnesota NORML charge.
Cool.
And after a successful career in a 30-year IT systems administration, he joined up with a top criminal defense attorney in some Rasta with a BA in religion up in Minnesota. I think Minnesota can turn some heads with their reform. Because, if it wasn't for the governor, they would already have medical marijuana.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And those amendments, to that, restrictive bill, those would have already been taking place by now.
That's right.
That's 2 years ago.
And once again, the longer you wait, the more you stall these programs, you're talking about costing people's lives. Some people are going to die, are already dead in these states.
Right. Well,
here in Iowa, across the country, because people don't want to enact medical marijuana, so people are taking these Oxycontin.
That's the bad thing about the New Jersey, to where it is restrictive to the terminally ill that have maybe less than a year to live. And,
Thank you, Chris Christie.
And since they've passed the bill, he hasn't enacted it any. I'm sure that people have passed away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Rest in peace, and
Or right now they're in constant pain. They want to pass away.
Right.
That's cruel.
Now check it out. New Orleans, they're going to vote for decriminalization, make marijuana a non-arrestable offense.
Good.
And then we got a.
When's that vote come up in New Orleans?
It's their council, their city council. I don't know. I don't know when it comes up.
Wait a minute. Are they saying that they just won't arrest you, but then you still get a summons and you have to go to trial?
I'm not sure.
If it's decriminalized, usually that means it's a civil matter.
Yeah.
So it's a parking ticket.
Well, also, Rhode Island.
Yeah.
Rhode Island has a bill for decrim, and Illinois and Connecticut too.
Connecticut's got a medical marijuana bill in the works, and so does Idaho, right?
And Illinois has a House bill for medical marijuana
and decrim in Illinois.
Right.
Yeah.
Idaho's isn't on the work. I mean, they're looking at it.
They're looking at it. You're right. There's not. Yeah, you're right.
But they're staring at a bud saying, "I'm looking."
Even fail.
But the guy that's behind it there in Idaho, I guess they say he's like some soft-spoken conservative, to where everybody gets along with the guy or whatever, So where
it makes sense, and he points out that residents of Idaho are going to the surrounding states, getting medical marijuana, bringing it back to Idaho.
Yeah, Idaho's surrounded.
And what happens with Iowans is they just move.
Yeah.
Like Farmer John.
Yeah, I'm going to do it. And if
I will too.
I got
we'll
a
take
2-year savings plan going.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Unless I win, I win on this bedbug class action lawsuit, then I'm out of here.
Really, I mean, why would anybody want to face prison just for the way they want to live their life if it's not harmful to anybody in any way, shape, or form?
I don't have a choice. It's the way I have to live.
Yeah.
And also, you notice when people are surrounded by the terminal ill situation or anybody, and they keep stalling, that makes that person a rebel and an activist. We've had constant testimonials about, I never even bothered marijuana till I got injured, or my brother, my sister, my mother, and then they found out the harsh facts, and there's thousands and thousands. What are you doing to those citizens?
All
What
right,
they're going
all
through?
right. Now I'm going to go right into this video. This is my testimony there at the State Historical Building. What day was
great.
that?
I remember that one.
Yep. And then Balder was there sitting up in the crowd, but as soon as I started bringing up the Iowa lawmakers sitting up there or whatever, he hightailed it. So
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's if Clella, if you're watching here, you get to see it.
Well, he won't be able to walk out of this one because he's sitting up there. He's one of the,
He's on the internet.
one of the heads of that subcommittee.
Before I begin my presentation, first let me thank you for giving me another opportunity to testify in public that medical marijuana is beneficial to my health. Just as I suffer, many Iowans suffer who are too afraid to speak in public. That is why I'm here. God is my witness. My name is Ray Lakers, age 42. I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis in 2004. The first attack involved paralysis on the right side of my body. Being uninsured, I've accumulated over $9,000 in unpaid medical bills from the first year and a half of diagnosis, doctor visits, outpatient, and steroid treatments. In that time, I learned a lot about life, my life, how I would choose to live my life, and what therapy I would treat myself with. In that time, I have managed to work full-time, and I've held the same position with 2 promotions in the last 3 years. I must be doing something right.
Is that you, Deacon?
Shattering every preconceived notion about medical marijuana patients that many of you of the opposition are all about. When I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis in 2004, I was very fearful of my future and my health. I then learned that Montel Williams had been treating his condition with medical marijuana, and that Iowa resident Barbara Douglas, who is also the second person in Iowa that receives medical marijuana from our government, along with George McMahon, improved with miraculous results. I started to trust the way my body felt. Giving opiate painkillers left me lethargic, as do the steroid treatments. That leave me in a state where I'm unable to complete normal day-to-day functions like work and providing for my family. With marijuana being the safest therapeutically...
Green Central Station, DesMoinesAmplified.com.
And safer than many of the foods we commonly eat, you haven't much reason to deny medical marijuana.
Oh, no, I have
to
somebody on the
anyone
line.
who claims to need it. We let people buy toxic acetaminophen over the counter in any amount they choose, to use anytime they choose, for any ailment they choose, without ever seeing a doctor or undergoing an examination. Yet people can overdose or die or suffer long-term health effects from acetaminophen. Just this year, it was determined 26% of those with liver ailments and failure used acetaminophen over a long period of time, either over the counter or with their prescription opiates. Now, this quote is from a letter I received from Iowa Senator Charles Grassley in 2006. Charles Grassley said, "The FDA has
Charles
developed
Grassley
a
said.
careful, proven method for testing and approving drugs for medical use. The tests the FDA approved that FDA-approved medicines undergo are both exhaustive and time-consuming. The testing methods are conducted to ensure safety, determine accurate doses, and to diagnose any potential
Yeah, that's what they say. They can't control the
Well,
dose of
Dr.
medical
Beth Mann
marijuana.
last week, how many FDA drugs are facing class action lawsuits over FDA-approved drugs? Many of these drugs include side effects like suicide. I will not take anything that contains a side effect that results in the end of my life or makes me less able to function on a day-to-day basis. Please educate yourself to know that medical marijuana is a doctor-patient decision and not a drug. Botanical cannabis is a therapeutic medicine used for over 2,000 years, yet only illegal since 1937. Do yourself a favor and find out why. While we hold these hearings, in this time, patients are still at risk of arrest for the smallest amount. Someone suffering from Crohn's disease cancer, AIDS, epilepsy, ALS,
That's the thing. They put us out, Deacon.
That's right. Arrested, all because they made the choice to live a better quality of life and are subject to draconian marijuana laws and politicians who conduct themselves like walking death panels when making public comments about medical marijuana patients. One is in this room. If they only knew the pain we feel every time someone like Iowa State Rep.
Yeah, he left. He got up right at this point.
Marijuana. Does this man not know anything about prescription drug abuse and the deaths of young adults? That is becoming an epidemic of annual death tolls. Some overdose for over-the-counter medications also.
And Clell probably had to walk out because to him it's laughable. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Or the medical profession who are against it.
Because he just wanted to get high.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
Many of those who are against it.
He had to go pop a Dilaudid.
Yeah. Then reefer madness-induced myths that are being shattered as we sit and hold these hearings for the next 4 months.
Yeah, 4 months we did that, yeah.
That has been introduced, being a living person or a non-biased study,
North, south, east,
now on
and
the
west.
table. No other state went through a pharmacy review. It was always a public health board. Many drugs that you are in charge of at the pharmacy board aren't healthy for me, neither is jail. Iowa is again the first, again at something. Thanks for putting us back on the map. If anything,
back on the map.
It gives those on the opposition to reveal themselves.
That's right. Reveal yourselves. Come out of your green closet.
Marijuana and compassionate care is political suicide.
Get back in it.
In states that do not have working, in states that do have working, successful medical marijuana programs, patients receive doctor recommendations, not prescriptions. Isn't the Board of Pharmacy about prescribed medicine? If my doctor recommended a ginseng root or any other therapeutic natural herb, she wouldn't need your permission. Why? Because I trust her recommendation, and knowing that this plant God created is safe for me. There's more harm in denying medical marijuana patients their choice than them using it. Save the smoke medicine is not healthy argument, because for me, I receive more therapeutic relief.
They actually found out that smoked marijuana is actually good for you. Of course it is.
Yeah, they're going to learn that there's a heck of a lot more to that it has to offer. We're just scratching the surface.
Oh, yeah.
Facts that were presented.
We really are.
Also, your gateway drug fears will be shattered along the way as well. From a fellow
That doctor from the Greenway Medical Marijuana Doctor's Advice place in San Francisco just is full of knowledge on it. I'll send you a clip to it.
Sure. See if he wants to be on Green Central Station.
Yeah.
I had MS and my leg was cramping to the point that I could not straighten it. I was in pain to the point of tears. Think about having a Charlie horse that lasts for days. Well, the pot gave me some relief. I cannot stand out of my wheelchair for. Excuse me.
This is a letter from an MS patient.
Out of my wheelchair for the first time in days. My pain lessened to the point I could think straight. Don't tell me about other drugs I could take. I've tried them. They don't work for me, and they leave me in a much more drugged out stupor than marijuana does. It is time to let the adults make the decisions for themselves. Why should I pay Big Pharma when I could grow the medicine myself? Well, my answer for you, my brother with MS, Big Pharmacy would rather you slowly kill yourself, as long as they get paid.
All right. Closing out that video.
There's no such thing as medical marijuana.
Just a minute or two of me going on.
663-0507. You will find the owner none other than the U.S. government. Now, just this week, it's been revealed. I mean, chronic marijuana smokers' lungs are no worse than non-smokers.
There you have it.
Yeah,
Chronic marijuana smoke is no more harmful than non-smoke marijuana smoke.
It's better.
They've had several 5-year studies that looked over that very subject, and they've always concluded that there's no link to marijuana and any kind of lung cancer.
That's right.
Smoking marijuana and lung cancer.
But if you you look on the governor's ODCP website, they say it does.
They say it does, and they
Oh,
don't
'cause
have
it's
any
got the
research.
carcinogens. Because there's 400 carcinogens in it. Well,
They don't show any research or study that actually
unknown
proves that.
carcinogens.
That's true. They don't. They don't show anything really to prove their claim.
No.
Hey, I just want to bring this story up too, because it kind of this guy needs to talk to Bodler. This guy out in Yuba City, California.
Yeah.
His name's Nate Bradley. He's a former sheriff, right?
Right.
And I guess he was downsized from his job. I don't think he retired or whatever. But at the time, he was up to 460 pounds, dude. He was the deputy sheriff in Yuba City, California.
Yeah.
He was on 6 prescription drugs and abused alcohol.
Wow.
Now that probably sounds like how much of a percentage of the law enforcement are like that?
A lot. Over 50%.
But what's the percentage? You know, the ones that abuse both. Man, that's scary.
Yeah, because they're walking around with loaded guns, and they have that huge authority over the regular person. It's just they have a power over the general public.
And they're not in their right mind.
So today now
Dangerous.
this Bradley guy, ex-sheriff Bradley, he's known as the 215 cop because of Prop 215 in California.
Right.
He's a medical marijuana patient, of course, now, and he's lost nearly 100 pounds, quit the booze and the pharmaceuticals.
Far out.
Yeah, he quit. Yeah, you know.
What do you know?
It's one
And
thing
it helped.
he quit the booze because he liked to drink the booze to get high, right? You know what I mean?
Well, see, that's where the drug therapy counselors, all those people will learn and embrace that cannabis is a gateway therapy away from
narcotics.
alcohol.
It is.
That's right.
Yeah, it is. It is.
It would be a great treatment drug.
It's you can use it to get off of methadone.
That you can.
Yeah.
You have the
If
good
you
strength.
have the right strains, you
Yeah,
can, and it, without serious withdrawal. I mean, you're going to have withdrawals.
So now this
But you need to
ex-sheriff, you know, he's consults medical marijuana patients there in Yuba City and other dispensary owners on how to be safe and smart owners.
That's great.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, that's a great story, and I think I mean, what did Butler have to say about that guy? You know, he's among his ranks. You know.
Well, yeah. Check this out. How many police psychiatrists can tell you that's a great drug abuse within the law enforcement because what a human being has to go through with even death and some of the things they see? That wears a person's mind down. If cannabis was used, I think these officers would feel a lot better without having to just numb themselves because they see such terrible things. So I'm in sympathy with that part of law enforcement.
They do have to see horrible things, especially if they're in some really bad urban areas as well.
Mm-hmm.
The Green Ghetto.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Deacon, I want to thank you for phoning in today. I want you to stay on the line because I'm going to close out with this. This video, it's the Green Central Alert, the State of the Iowa Patients Nation, and there's information in there about the hearing on Wednesday.
Right.
It's at the Iowa State House, and it's regarding the Governor's Office of Drug Control Policy, where they want to keep marijuana strictly Schedule 1. They want to disregard the whole pharmacy, and Bodler is one that introduced the bill.
Yeah, he's an idiot.
Oh, come on.
Well, send us green vibrations, Obi-Wan
all right,
Deacon,
all
while
right.
we watch this.
All right.
He lives for moments like this, doesn't he?
It's a constant pain on
All right. Thank you for watching Green Central
Ray
Station.
Lakers and Chris Young both suffer from pain. Lakers has multiple sclerosis. Young broke his back in a diving accident. They're just two of more than a dozen who shared their medical marijuana success stories with the Iowa Pharmacy Board on Wednesday. Both Lakers and Young say marijuana works better than pharmaceutical drugs.
The relief it provided me was nowhere in comparison to the relief and the benefit I feel from using marijuana as an alternate.
Marijuana is far more effective.
Ray Lakers has multiple sclerosis and has used marijuana in the past and paid the price.
I was actually arrested for less than a gram of marijuana back in 2005 and went to jail and did 6 days in county to get off probation over it.
Yes, I received those emails, and I can say that I believe there's scientifically tested drugs out there that will work, i.e. morphine, OxyContin, things like that.
I am a robot.
The Mexican cartel will always undersell state government to get the drug.
I am no one.
Well, you can take one look at him and tell he needs medical marijuana.
Oh, word.
Yeah, he needs THC IV.
Just look at George in this video going strong.
The FDA sends McMahon a steady supply of prescription marijuana to treat a chronic pain and nausea condition.
Federal government. Yeah, I don't get to go buy my own. I have to smoke just what they send.
McMahon is in his car parked outside the Iowa Board of Pharmacy office. Inside the building, the board votes unanimously to hold a series of public hearings where average Iowans and experts alike may weigh in on whether the state should add marijuana as an approved controlled.
Hi, I'm Angela, and I am a medical marijuana patient. This is a reefer report for February 24, 2010. The Iowa Board of Pharmacy voted to recommend the reclassification of marijuana to a Schedule II drug as the first step to legalize the medicine in the state. Here's WHO-TV with more. Oh, and keep an eye out for Reverend Ray, one of your fellow Reefer Report viewers. Thanks, Ray, for getting out there and informing our government and the public.
A unanimous decision from the Board of Pharmacy today on the future of medical marijuana in Iowa. The Board of Pharmacy took the first step today toward legalizing marijuana for medical purposes. The board voted unanimously to recommend that lawmakers change the way marijuana is classified in Iowa. Channel 13's Elizabeth Kling has more on the decision. The story is new tonight at 5.
Motion carries.
The unanimous approval Wednesday brought a round of applause from advocates of medical marijuana.
I have multiple sclerosis, and you may look at me and think, well, this guy doesn't really look that sick or whatever, but, you know, I'm able to maintain my health because I use marijuana.
Until today, marijuana has been classified as a Schedule I drug in Iowa, considered to have no medical value. But after months of research and public hearings, pharmacy officials agreed it's time for a change.
In order to be able to further the possibility of using medical marijuana in Iowa, that's what we wanted to do, was get it out of that C1 class.
The board is recommending the legislature classify marijuana as a Schedule II drug, meaning there is a risk for abuse, but also the potential for benefit.
Make it legal, make it green, Iowa. Make it now.
Does it matter if some of us are banged up in prison and lose our freedom for years? Who gives a fuck? Does it matter? Does it matter if our kids are expelled from schools, have their careers wrecked, and their lives ruined? Does it fucking matter? Does it fucking matter if those suffering from multiple sclerosis and other ailments are denied the therapeutic benefits of a natural herb? Does it fucking matter?
Prescription drugs kill more people in the state of Iowa than illicit drugs. And once, let me first also state that marijuana hasn't killed anybody. There's never been recorded deaths from the consumption of marijuana. And if somebody has the option of getting away from these dangerous prescription painkillers and has a safer, more affordable alternative, which is marijuana, well, we're talking.
Yes, I received those emails, and I can say that I believe there's scientifically tested drugs out there that will work, i.e. morphine, OxyContin, things.
This is Ringo Steeler. Good day, Governor. Did you catch all that? What was that? What? Approve no Steelers and please approve medical cannabis. I'll tell you. And go Steelers. Governor, that is the first on this show. We have not heard that particular battle cry before, or that cheer. Is there a medical cannabis terrible cow?